G'day and welcome to episode number 45. What do you mean no?
Nope. Vetoed. I'm kidding. Please continue.
I'm just going to start again.
Okay.
That is the hardest part of that ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 45 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. My name is Adam and today I am here as always with Sam.
Hello.
With John.
Hello.
And with Brett.
Hello.
Hello. So, we're here today to discuss the incredible event that happened down under just a couple of days ago, WWE Super Showdown. Before we get to that, just a quick reminder that last week, our last podcast, was our Autumn Quiz Spectacular. If you haven't given that a listen, you should go back and check that out and find out who was victorious. It's all very exciting. And we also had a little review of the Progress Hello Wembley event. So, do give that a listen. This week, we're going to be talking about WWE Super Showdown. Bit of a shit name.
Yeah. I thought of a better one.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, how about Smack Down Under? Because, it was like a long episode of SmackDown and it was in Australia. It's a joke, guys. It's funny. Laugh.
Yeah, we're laughing. We're laughing.
Yeah, that might work if they still did the split pay-per-views, but mind you, I haven't got anything better, really.
No.
Okay, cool. We'll
throw another champ on the Barbie?
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Okay, good. Didn't even need to think about that and I still did better than Sam.
It's not hard, is it?
Let's crack on with the Super Showdown review after this.
X-Plex on the apron! Hardest part of the ring!
WWE Super Showdown 2018. Again, always feel a bit weird saying the name because the year, because I'm quite hopeful that there won't be another one of these, but
there will
be.
Yeah.
This one, the first one, happened on the 6th of October 2018 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground in Melbourne, Australia. Promoted as the biggest WWE live event ever in Australia with an attendance of 70,309 people. I thought it looked pretty amazing in that stadium, didn't it?
Yeah. It was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah. The biggest live event ever or the biggest live event in Australia ever?
Yeah, the biggest WWE live event ever in Australia.
Oh, in Australia. Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of caveats to that sentence.
Yeah.
The biggest
Yeah.
WWE event inside Sydney, inside that particular stadium.
It was
Sydney,
Yeah.
John.
Melbourne.
It was Melbourne.
Oh, Ricky.
Don't be so Sydney-centric.
Up and coming city.
Yeah. I mean, has anyone been to Melbourne?
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I might have. I went to Australia as a child. I can't remember exactly where.
Okay. I went when I was 18 and it is a really cool place, although I spent most of my time in internet cafes playing Counter-Strike.
Hey.
Because, we
Is
didn't
that
have much money at
the
that
same
time.
trip where you got bullied into buying a didgeridoo?
Yes.
Oh, of course it is amazing.
Yeah, you don't go back once you. I spent 3 months travelling around, sampling different internet cafes, playing different Australian school children at Counter Strike. It was a great trip.
Did you come back with a boomerang as well?
I couldn't afford a boomerang after I bought the didgeridoo.
Do you still have the didgeridoo?
I do.
Hey.
I didgeridoo. Brilliant. So as I said, I thought it looked really cool. Michael Cole at the start in the intro referred to it as spacious, which I thought was quite funny because they had loads of those big gaps.
I mean, is he just referring to Australia, the country, as spacious? Because that's kind of true.
Maybe. But I did feel for the people in the seats up around the edges because they were far away.
They were far away.
They were. I was surprised they could see anything at that distance.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously they're all just looking at a massive screen above. Probably.
Yeah, they made up for it with all the big screens, I guess. So yeah, onto the event itself. I mean, I suppose one thing with these kind of big marquee sort of PR events is that you're guaranteed a decent looking card. I mean, if you look down the card, which we'll go through in a second, it's got a lot of big stars and big matchups, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was lots of multi-tag stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Throwing people together.
It feels like it would have been a good card in different time zones, like different time eras as well. Like, there's a couple of good matches if they had happened 10 years ago.
I wonder which one you could be referring to, John.
So let's go through the card very quickly. We had The New Day versus The Bar, Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens, The Iconics versus Asuka and Naomi, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander, The Shield versus Strowman, Ziggler and McIntyre, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, and Triple H versus The Undertaker. A lot of matches.
A lot of matches.
Yeah,
4 hours.
Was it bang on 4 hours?
Yeah.
pretty much.
It pretty much was. Yeah, I think it was 4 hours, 8 seconds or something.
Just
according to
straight
the
off the
network.
bat, if you had to swap the lengths of 2 matches round, which 2 would you swap?
The final 2, do you think?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, I was going to go Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, and Triple H and Undertaker.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I
would be
mean,
happy with that
that's
too.
a fight
Yeah.
forever thing for me. That's all good.
Okay. And I mean, don't want to spoil anything for the listeners, but I think that we're going to have some split opinions just going off what we were talking about on WhatsApp over the last few days. But we're going to start off with the key matches, the 4 key matches that sort of looked as if they'd be the biggest and the best before the pay-per-view. And we're going to kick it off with AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, which I thought was a pretty good match.
Wendy.
What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this was an okay match. I don't think they did a huge amount. I don't think they kind of maybe lent into the no disqualification quite as much as they should have or could have.
Yeah.
And there are a few kind of, I would say, dodgy spots here and there. I'd say kind of like AJ putting Joe through the table looked a bit ropey.
Was that not? I thought that initially as well, but was that not so that they could sell the injured knee?
I think kind of
Because
the
he
idea-
did put him through on that knee. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I think kind of maybe he wasn't meant to just kind of half fall over with the knee.
I mean,
table. Maybe he was.
Samoa Joe is probably pretty heavy.
I imagine
Yeah.
he's very heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It was. I think the match was okay. I don't think it was their best. And the one thing I would say that I did like about this was actually seeing someone tap out. Like, kind of, I don't see that very often nowadays.
Yeah. They teased the muscle buster again.
Always teasing. Always teasing. But,
I would actually say this was my favourite match on the card.
I'd say it was up there.
I would say favourite match looking at the card.
Before the event.
Yeah. I think I agree with what you were saying the other week with, I've really noticed it this time with Samoa Joe in the fact that like there's a move and then there's a long pause before even the next punch or the next anything. Like there's walking around and huffing and then they go back in, and there was lots of like pauses like that throughout, and I just want to see them with a bit more pace.
Yeah,
and going for it, like it just doesn't have any pace in their matches. This one or the one before, really slow, really ploddy, and doesn't have spots as good as both of these guys are capable of either.
Yeah, I would much rather see a shorter match at a faster pace.
Yes,
It did feel very long, this match. I don't know how long it was. It must have been one of the longest matches on the card, but Taker Triple H felt like it went on for weeks. I feel like it's still going on now.
I mean, if you watch Taker versus Undertaker, if you watch Triple H versus Undertaker in like real time, not the slow motion that they aired on WWE Network, it's probably only 5 minutes.
The AJ Styles Samoa Joe match was 23 minutes 45, so it's the second longest match. Pretty decent length.
Yeah.
I actually thought that the first sort of half of it was an okay pace, and actually they didn't. I mean, obviously the problem with some of the earlier matches and Joe's recent matches have been, you know, his match with Roman Reigns with the whole Coquina clutch coming out early. It didn't come too early in this.
No.
But then when it did come out, I felt like it really slowed up after that. But I thought it was quite intense. I thought there were some really stiff bits, like the Joe's clothesline and when he chucked him through the chair. And
Yeah.
I think my favourite part of this match was Joe hit a few chops and he like roared like Godzilla between them. And he fully looked like some massive beast at that point because he had quite a guttural roar to him between those chops.
He's a man who wants AJ's family.
He
Yes.
does. He really does.
he was hitting AJ hard with the chair as well. Like,
He was, that was pretty brutal.
All the chair shots throughout the whole night, I thought, were pretty stiff.
It was very the whole match. I mean, some of the chops Joe were vicious. They were proper nasty, loud chops.
Yeah.
And some of that might have been better to see live. You know, might have come away thinking more of it seeing that live.
Yeah. I think I was a little bit ready for them to pull the trigger on Joe as well. Like, I'm a little bit kind of getting past AJ being champion.
Yeah, it feels. I don't know where Joe goes after this now because AJ's moving on to Daniel Bryan.
He's had quite a few title matches now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You think about, obviously this run of matches against AJ, and then he lost against Brock, saying that he was going to win, and it does seem as if
It's a bit of the Nakamura's, isn't it? Like, kind of.
he's lost a bit of credibility.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really did enjoy the match.
Yeah,
So
I thought it was a great match.
Positive on it.
And although I haven't been a fan of the build into it, I thought they did a really good job of sort of carrying that sort of storyline into the match.
Yeah.
Well, I must say that family stuff. Obviously, there's stuff I hadn't seen there because I didn't watch Hell in a Cell. That is fucked up. What they've been doing, this like Joe going to the house. There's kids there.
Do you know what it was missing?
What?
It was missing a Wendy Styles heel turn.
Oh my
Samoa
God,
Wendy
came
and
out.
Samoa Joe and little Samoa Annie or whatever the kid's name is, whatever the
There's still
actress
time
is.
for there's still time for Wendy to headline Evolution. Could happen
Oh, guys.
against Mrs. Joe.
Is there a Mrs. Joe?
Well, I like to think so.
I think she'd be really upset if there was a Mrs. Joe, like with this story.
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
a good point. That's difficult to explain to the miss, isn't it? Oh, where you been
That's right.
tonight, Joe? Oh, nothing.
It's just business. I'm just after the title.
Yeah.
The wife and the kids come as an extra. Don't worry about that storybook. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
Are we saying that Samoa Joe is Papa Lazarou? every match he has is like he gets that person's wife,
That would be a great gimmick.
just collecting them.
We're going
Samoa
pretty
Joe.
WCW here.
Samoa Joe has been married to Jessica Sinoa since 2007.
Oh man, she must be gutted.
Yeah, he's got a real life wife, but he just doesn't feel the need to bring her into WWE storylines, which I think we can respect.
Yes.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With history of involving wives in storylines.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, that was the AJ Styles Samoa Joe match, and
Analysis done.
yeah, great analysis as always from Hardest
We
Part of
do
the Ring.
like the storyline though, don't we?
No,
I think so.
I don't.
I don't know.
Okay, quick. Let's move on. Quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Next key match.
I was
Go
going
on,
to say
Brad.
just quickly, I'm pumped for seeing AJ and Daniel Bryan though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, as much as I was like, oh, this match snaff, and that setup for that match is purely for, another one of these money-making pay-per-views, but it should be good.
I'm calling it now. There is no clean finish on that match. That is the Miz running in and getting Daniel or AJ disqualified and just interrupting it and just not giving the fans a finish.
Yeah, it's annoying because it is a sort of a dream matchup, but the way that they've treated dream matchups recently, you just know that it's not going to go the way we want it to go or we picture it going. But anyway, next key match from this event was the Shield versus Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. I watched Raw earlier from last night, and they had a great match, and I thought the match at Super Showdown was pretty damn good too. I think these guys can't really have bad matches, can they?
I thought this was okay. I thought, obviously, after the Buddy Alexander match, I thought the crowd were a bit done.
Yes.
So it just sort of sucked the life out of it a bit. And
Yeah, I suppose
I
that's true.
I'm not a fan of the Shield.
I don't like their new masks where you can see.
Oh,
the
I
eyes
quite
through
like that.
them.
I thought that was quite Clive
like them.
Baker.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I didn't like that you could see the lips through them. It felt a bit weird, but maybe that's just me.
I think it might just be you, Sam.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that I think Braun has been thrown with Dolph and Drew purely so that they can have this match up at Super Showdown with the Shield.
I don't know if that's true though, because they are
No.
continuing on with the Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre
What,
alliance.
for the Crown Jewel?
I would assume they're probably going to see it through all the way to Survivor Series at this rate.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
It's weird that we've had Brock as champion for so long where we haven't had the title on TV. And now with Roman on TV all the time with the title, it doesn't really feel like he has the title.
But I mean,
No.
what I would say about this, which I am enjoying, is the fact that there's a lot of titles involved in this feud. You know, you've got the tag titles, you've got the Intercontinental title, and you've got the World Championship with the Universal Championship. It's kind of,
But
Yeah.
none of them are up for grabs,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Not
which
for this.
takes it away.
But I
But
like,
the Shield needed someone to go up against.
yeah,
And I mean, Braun's the reasoning behind joining up with these guys is that he needed some backup in his chase to get the Universal title. And I actually think I didn't like it when they turned him heel, because obviously he's my guy and I love cheering him. But I'm kind of into heel Strowman now, and there's only so long that they could have gone down the flipping really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It's so easy, isn't it? Because he's so big and mean.
Yeah, they did that to death, and it was great fun. But now this is like, right, actually, I'm a bit annoyed now.
I mean, I much prefer heel Strowman. I think he's a much better heel than a face.
Yeah, I agree.
I quite like as well, like Braun Strowman calling Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre his dogs of war. It's very Mad Max.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be
Yeah,
upset
I
with
like
a Mad
it.
Max reference.
Yeah. He seems to be turning on them already, though, isn't he? From Raw, I thought.
A little bit. He was getting annoyed with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But am I right in thinking that Dean Ambrose is kind of planning on being the next person to betray the Shield?
Yeah.
Cool.
Looks like it.
That's what they're teasing anyway.
Yes.
That's what they teased in this.
Again,
And that they teased
I
on
have
Raw.
to say, I really loved that in this match, where you had Roman sort of accidentally Superman punch Dean, and it kind of looked like Dean was going to turn on the Shield, but then Roman kind of saved Dean with that cool intercept spear, and they sort of made up at the end. They're all just brothers. I just thought that was really well done.
I agree with you.
cool.
I really like that. But then kind of rather than that being the kind of like exclamation point on the whole thing, the next day on Raw, it's then like Dean Ambrose walks out on the Shield. It's just like, just kind of undermines it all. Like,
It does seem a bit soon, doesn't it, for them to be having the walkout? But maybe it's to do with what we're saying. They need to get Roman out there defending the title, not
Maybe.
doing all this Shield stuff. Who knows?
one thing I did actually miss about the Shield, which I'm happy to see, is the old walk in through the crowd and just everyone trying to get involved.
Oh, they loved it.
Oh,
in
such
Australia,
a
didn't
classic. The security guards have such a time every single time the Shield do that. Like, do you remember, I think it was last year when Kurt Angle was part of the Shield? I'm not
they?
sure.
Of course, how could I forget?
And some random person, basically dressed up in riot gear, just stood with the Shield during the entrance until security pushed him out.
That was Kurt Angle, mate.
Oh, shit.
I think actually looking back at my notes on this, I think maybe I'm being a bit swayed by watching the Raw match, because the match on Raw that they had was really good, and it was like just great pace right from the off. But looking at my notes for this match, which I now watched about 3 days ago, I did note down how there seemed to be at the start, there was so much really slow paced stuff like leading to hot tags, wasn't there? They were doing that loads.
Yeah, Seth was in the ring for about 20 minutes just taking a beating, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I think, like, with a lot of this pay-per-view, like, I've watched all of it twice and some of it 3 times just to try and get
Why?
just to try and get some of it in my head for this podcast. But like, my brain just kept on switching off every time.
Oh, I tell you
so
what, I
sorry,
watched
Brett.
the first.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I watched the first 3
Amazing
matches
commitment.
Saturday night when I was far too drunk, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep for most of it. But I am not going back to rewatch them.
I know,
you.
it was painful. It was painful.
See, this, I know we'll do like general thoughts later, but yeah, I was really excited about this. And again, I think it's because I've had a big break from watching wrestling, going on holiday and stuff, but I was really excited. And I as a whole, I enjoyed this. I did enjoy this.
The thing is, though, like, when I watched it through the first time, I was really excited to watch it as well, because I didn't watch it live, but I'd seen like people, tweeting, not like spoilers, but just tweeting about it. Like it seemed like it had a good vibe to it. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be good. I'm going to enjoy it.
It was nice to have Saturday night wrestling, which is something we never get with these pay-per-views. We always have to squeeze them in on a Monday. It was nice to be able to watch it on Saturday and Sunday.
There's definitely parts of this that I really enjoyed, and parts of it I really, really hated.
We'll get to the best of the rest and the worst of the rest shortly. So this match obviously finished with a dirty deeds from Ambrose to win it. And I'd say to people, if you haven't watched this, then actually just go and watch Raw last night, because it was a better match.
It's a ringing endorsement.
What was the finish in Raw? Who won?
Ziggler, McIntyre, and Strowman won this one.
Right, okay.
And that's why they had the Ambrose walking out at the end, because basically in the sort of second or the third of the match, Ambrose they were on the ropes, and Ambrose did his sort of whole lunatic fringe type thing, going absolutely crazy, really trying to get the Shield back into it, and then they lost. And that's sort of the angle,
right,
as to why he was annoyed.
Okay, well that's good though, because I was like thinking with the Super Showdown, it probably would have been good to see the Shield drop it and Strowman, Ziggler, McIntyre to win, to give it some legs.
But this was a glorified house show.
Yeah.
The faces were always going over.
That's I think that was my main issue with
unless
this
they're Australian,
pay-per-view.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the second key match. The third one we want to talk about, one that looked good on the card, even though the other matches haven't been that good, but it's still two top quality wrestlers. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz.
Oh.
We got to enjoy a whopping 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
What was this? Does anyone know what the idea was behind this?
Do you know what this match was missing? Afterwards, you know how like Miz comes out of the mic, he's about to cut a promo, Daniel Bryan runs in and just completely like interrupts it. They should have had this match, have Daniel Bryan do the quick roll up, and then just come back in the ring with the mic and say, "Sorry, Miz, you were saying."
Oh yeah,
that would have been a sick burn.
Great
Sick
booking.
burn.
Great booking.
That would have been.
The only feeling is that they must have been overrunning, and they knew they had to do 20 fucking minutes of entrances for all the old guys. So they told them to just get it over with quick.
Oh, seems bizarre.
Yeah,
it must be why.
Yeah, it must be, because the announcers, like, they seemed a bit confused on who'd won.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm not sure that is the case, to be honest. Like, I kind of think...
Well, it's the only good excuse, but yeah, sorry, go on.
But, I mean, I think this kind of weirdly plays into Miz's and Daniel Bryan's story. As bad as it is to basically advertise a match on a big show and then not give anything.
Big show?
Like, as... They could literally set a venue as Big Show and it would work.
Oh, God, it would do.
But... No, kind of like the whole overall storyline of like hard work versus someone who's a kind of underhand coward and all of that. In the bigger scheme of things, it does work. It's just kind of a little bit of a... Like, this would have been good on SmackDown or Raw, not on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It was weird though, because it felt like they were trying to make it a bit screwy, like there was, his shoulders weren't really down, but they were down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... the thing is, it was just to illustrate Daniel Bryan is meant to be the better wrestler. Like, I get what they were doing. I just don't think it was a good move.
Yeah,
I'd be upset if I paid a ticket for this show and I got that.
Oh,
for
definitely.
Yeah. I don't think they executed it if that's what they were after either, though.
No, I agree. They could have done a couple more minutes. You know, all those Australian fans would have been pumped to see Daniel Bryan.
I mean, again, like what I would say in this match's credit, and I say this match, it's kind of generous, but what I would say is that kind of wrestling for me is at its best when I'm always surprised by it and I'm shocked by it. And, you know, like maybe it wasn't the best solution to this, or maybe it could have been an overrunning thing, but at least it was a surprise. And I'm never going to be too upset by that, I guess.
Yeah. My only note, I wrote what in capitals, and then I thought about it a bit further, and then I just wrote what. Again, in much larger capitals.
Yeah, I think I was on WhatsApp with Sam at this point, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" What what happened?
Hold on a second. What's this little private WhatsApp you got going on?
You didn't want to know any spoilers.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to the wrestling group, and you were just like, "No, don't tell me anything."
I wasn't part of the
slagging.
WhatsApp group either, Adam.
Well, John, in our little private group later, I'm going to be slagging these two off.
Is this your beating women podcast?
Any new listeners out there, I just want you to know that I do not have a violence against women. Okay, it's another callback. Sam, king of the callbacks. Anyway, the good thing about this short match is it means that we can move on from it quickly because there's literally nothing else to say, and we can talk about the final key match that we picked out, the main event, Triple H with Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker with Kane. 4 guys who have a combined age of 206.
Oh, bloody hell.
That is a great.
And one elected official.
Yeah, Undertaker's 53.
Oh my God.
Kane is 51. Triple H is just under 50 at 49, and Heartbreak Kid's 53 as well.
Yeah. Do you know, I did the thing of wikiing all their ages as this match was going on. And then straight after I wikied how old Minoru Suzuki was.
Oh, yeah? How old is
I think he's 53 as well. I'm going to have to double check that. I'm sure it was 53. And I was just like, the difference.
Fucking hell.
The trouble is, Undertaker looks an old 53, doesn't he?
I was surprised he was 53.
I actually took a screenshot of him at the start of the match when they did the bit where they announced it was going to be a no DQ. Oh, no. And they sort of lingered on Undertaker's face. I was like, oh my God, look at the state of him. And I did a screenshot just for posterity.
Suzuki is bang on 50.
Yeah, it's Liger that's 53.
But to be fair, Liger also is not a 20-minute match I ever want to watch.
No.
God damn, this match sucks.
Oh, it sucks so bad.
I hated it. Did Kane not look like someone who actually hasn't been doing any wrestling and probably has been doing the politicking and...
I got a feeling Kane wasn't there. He was actually being the mayor, and that was some other guy that they just shoved in his costume.
Kane.
That's why he didn't do.
Kevin Nash.
That's why he didn't do anything, because he did nothing. Kane.
No, did you notice though? It was great whenever like Kane or Heartbreak Kid tried to interject. Like every time Kane did something, he got beaten every time and just thrown out. Heartbreak Kids got like beaten by Undertaker every time thrown out, but he could at least beat Kane. And then obviously, you know.
But let's be honest, Kane is the bottom of that pecking order. Of
definitely.
And that is how it played out.
No disrespect
I'd
to Kane
say
as
Kane,
well. Great worker.
Kane is the bottom, but he's probably second in terms of ability right now.
No.
I
know Shawn Michaels hasn't wrestled in
Shawn Michaels hasn't done anything.
I know, but it's fucking Shawn Michaels, mate. You know?
Did you? Yeah, but did you see Shawn Michaels' legs? Now he's got a bit of the Kurt Angles with the not being able to stand properly situation. I noticed like he looked like he's been horse riding, right? And he's got off the horse, but like there's still that space of a horse underneath him.
He is a Texan.
Yeah, he is a cowboy.
Because
he's always ready. He's always ready to ride.
Yeah, because he could not, like, his legs just bowed outwards. So every time he ran really funny.
He did, right? Yeah, he did. You're right. He did.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, so he should be done, but obviously
this is the experience of a man who's watched Super Showdown 3 times.
Yeah. Studying the gait of each wrestler.
Oh man, I hated this match so much.
Fair play to Triple H though, because he carried this motherfucking match. Like
carried what? He did. They all did
everything.
Shit.
Yeah,
absolutely everything.
I think because I was feeling ultra positive, and then at this point I knew that you guys weren't up for it, so I was like, no, I'm going to enjoy this. I was watching it going, well, this is like Undertaker's doing much better than he did at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. Which, I mean, he did.
I don't know if he did.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I think
that was a pretty low bar as well, wasn't it?
They went about 5 minutes without any botches. It was slow, but there wasn't anything really horrendous.
There was nothing to botch though. It was just throwing punches, wasn't it?
I don't remember any of this match. I just remember two people slowly walking around a ring.
And outside the ring, of course.
My God.
Well, yeah, that little bit where Kane, not Kane, the dead man, Taker dropped Triple H on those outside where he tried to sort of pick him up and then sort of dropped him sideways.
Oh yeah,
that was really awkward.
Oh, that's on top of the railing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then what about when he got the cable? I was like, yes,
God, that was
Taker's up
awful.
for cables, adders, and flares. He's found a cable.
I like the idea of during that point, like Triple H was like going like PG. Did you see? I think it was Triple H through Taker through Triple H over the barricade, very, very almost into a heavily disabled person.
Yes,
I
noticed that
into that garden chair as well.
Good God, yeah.
And Triple H ended up with like a big red mark on his chest because those garden chairs. I've fallen into one of those at a party. They can be quite painful. Those legs, they're sharp.
Did a 53-year-old man throw you into it?
Yes, actually, it was that kind of party.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it was slow. As we said, it was seriously slow. I think if this match had been twice the speed, it still wouldn't have been good. But
no,
it's just those lingering bits between each move, and the bits where Taker was like pointing at Shawn Michaels, really weird and muttering.
Yeah, like hearing him talk was very strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was odd.
We also had a return to the Triple H School of Masonry and how to hold a hammer, which is hand over the end of it. And
It's how you protect the hammer. You've got to make sure you don't dent it up.
I would love to just like spend a day on a construction site with Triple H. What happened to your hand, mate? Oh, just hammering in nails.
I was going to say, it wouldn't be a long day because you'd be straight to A&E with a broken hand.
Yeah, broken hand and a teared quad.
It was Attitude Era, which is like with all the throwing punches as well, because when you do go look back at a lot of those matches, it became just like punch throwing and chair hitting and stuff like that, which this match sort of was, which is also why I didn't love it, because wrestling's moved on and is awesome now, and I just don't like that from the Attitude Era.
Whoa, hold on.
What?
You're throwing the Attitude Era under the bus here.
Yeah, I am.
What?
The Attitude Era is the most rose-tinted thing in wrestling history, I think.
Ooh.
I think
Let's
so
pause
too.
the recording because I need to.
This is Sam's childhood you're talking about here.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's like his nostalgia is really, that'd be like him talking about the golden era with me. I'd be like, get out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Pull it together, Sam. It's okay.
I'm trying.
Don't get upset.
Do you know what this feud needs?
To stop.
Yeah, it does.
To not happen again. More of it.
DX versus Brothers of Destruction at either Crown Jewel or
Crown Jewel.
Survivor Series.
It's going to be at Crown Jewel.
Hey, they might even make it last all the way to WrestleMania.
No, it's going to happen at Crown Jewel and it's going to be a mess.
Do you remember the days when these guys were like young and wrestling and the old guard were still trying to wrestle, and it was like, just let the current crop have the limelight and don't have your slow past it matches in their spot, but they're doing it again. It's like,
I don't think I've got anything against Triple H having a match every 6 months or a year. I know you guys will probably disagree, but at least he looks like he can do it. And to an extent he can pull off some of the moves. I mean, he was the only one who was getting flipped around, really. I suppose Shawn Michaels did it.
His match at Mania this year was great with Ronda.
Yeah, I think he can still go.
Ronda Rousey was great at Mania.
Yeah,
well, this is the thing.
Sam on that one.
Put him in with some young guys, and he's got the knowledge and the know-how to make a match look good.
You say that, but his match with Seth Rollins was awful at the previous WrestleMania.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
I still
think
quite
he's
enjoy
done.
the novelty of it all.
I just don't think Triple H should be wrestling unless he's got a really good reason, and a really good reason is not just loads of money.
That's the only reason in wrestling, Sam. The only reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably what Australia wanted. It's probably what the organisers were like, yes, we are well up for this. And the fans would have gone apeshit for it. I mean, I suppose they didn't, but I think they enjoyed it.
There was some of the most pathetic "This is awesome" chants I've ever heard in all.
I know. I was like, it really isn't. But they were just so desperate to chant it.
Only about 5 people, though.
Yeah.
Although this match was rubbish, at the end where there was that sort of mutual respect, I really enjoyed that bit. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. This is the end of an era.
That was so
and
long.
then,
That
oh,
bit.
actually, this isn't an end of an era. Oh no, what's happening?
It's the start of a feud. Haha, we got you. You've been swerved. Oh,
Yeah.
And then, just to top it off, they're now doing a World Cup for WWE, which currently is going to involve The Big Show and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
So, really smashing at WWE. It's not like you've got too many wrestlers on your roster already. Do you know what you need to do? Bring back all the Attitude Era. That's what we want.
The thing is, right, and this is my main beef with this pay-per-view and the crown, what will be the crown jewel, I'm sure, afterwards as well, is that they can't just have them slot in as pay-per-views for their storylines and everything. They're like a greatest hits tour, you know, so they've got to have these people. They're just like mega money making schemes, you know, whatever's going on in storylines week in, week out doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And,
That's
and
exactly
I mean,
what this is.
and if they fully separated it out like that, then I could, you know, maybe not watch it, and that'd be great.
It is. This is Pat Sharp and the Funhouse Twins doing their silly little tour.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know,
years after
because
the show.
I do agree that like the big matches that they advertise mostly for this event, that is the case. But they had Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch, which is an ongoing feud. They had AJ Samoa Joe. They had Daniel Bryan, The Miz. They had the Shield, and then the Strowman stuff, which has been going on Raw. I mean, and the Bella Twins, Ronda and Riot Squad, that's an ongoing storyline. Like, most of it's ongoing storylines.
A bunch of them feel clunky, and they felt like they're parts of storylines that have started so that they could have them at these big shows. And also a bunch of them, they just like, yes, it's part of a storyline, but also it's just filler, and they'll actually pick up the storyline the next week.
Exactly that. Like, kind of, it doesn't feel like any of these were the punctuation points or the end of any storylines, apart from AJ Joe, which literally is just because they're now setting up for Daniel Bryan versus AJ. The rest of them, they're just continuations of feuds.
It's not non-canon, this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could cut out loads of these matches, continue watching SmackDown or Raw the next week, and you wouldn't have really missed anything.
Yeah, that is fair, actually. Okay, well, those were the key matches. And now we've got the rest of it to talk about.
Oh, we'll talk about it in Best of the Rest. You've missed out a match on the card here.
Which one is it?
Okay. During the Daniel Bryan ending or entrance, 2 children were recorded wrestling.
Really?
Oh, I saw the video.
This video is incredible. They must be about 10 or 11 years old. One of them picks up the other one and drops him with a proper AA, pins him. The crowd go nuts.
Where are they? Where are these children?
They're just in the crowd.
Yeah.
But in loads of
Amazing.
space, weirdly. I don't know why they're in so much
It's
space.
very strange, and it was a great match. It was longer than Daniel Bryan versus Miz, and it was faster than Triple H versus The Undertaker.
Oh, God, that should have been our number one key match to discuss. I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Okay. Anyway, the best of the rest. We're going to pick out anything else that was particularly good, and I think we're all going to be in agreement when I say that the first match we talk about should be the Cruiserweight Championship match, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. My match of the night, and I think most people's match of the night.
Easily match of the night.
Yeah,
It was very
agree.
good.
it was amazing. It was amazing. I thought it just had everything, and it was what was it, like 10, 12 minutes or something? So it was really nicely paced. Loads
my God.
great
that
spots.
Standing Spanish fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we had the Michinoku
God
driver
damn.
in there.
Yeah, from the top turnbuckle as well, wasn't it? That looked great. I loved Buddy Murphy's finisher as well. The pump handle, whatever you call it. Pump handle spinny slam thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
that's the official name.
I mean, obviously, we
official
should go
name.
back and obviously, mention the fact that Buddy Murphy is not only Australian but is from Melbourne. So what a moment for him!
Man,
Like,
that was awesome.
70,000 fans in your hometown, and then to come out and win the title in the match of the night is
The thing is, as well,
amazing.
is that he's a real journeyman of WWE. Like, kind of, he had the tag title run in NXT. Blake and Murphy fell apart. I think one of them had a DUI, and it kind of looked like it wasn't going to happen for
Yeah.
and, obviously, like, for Blake, maybe it's probably not going to happen. For
No,
great
he's-
for Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, I was going to say Blake's been repackaged in the Forgotten Sons, hasn't he, on NXT?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
Which
Um,
might go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
But
he's
yeah.
been a tag champion before.
I've enjoyed the matches I've seen of Buddy Murphy as well. I can't claim to watch 205 live, but
Well, I
I have
think
watched
there's-
a couple of
No one
episodes
can.
when he joined it.
Yeah.
Because I was keen to see, and I think he's really good. So
Yeah, from what I hear, things are really improving on 205 Live, and I think a lot of people are saying a lot of that is to do with Buddy Murphy, and then people like Leo Rush getting in there. We did have a couple of listeners get in touch with regards to this match. Dave Green, his first thought was about John Cena, and we'll get to that a bit later. But then he said the Cruiserweight title match absolutely stole the show, and I loved it. And Will Superkick said Buddy Murphy finally getting something from all his hard work. Guy has had amazing matches on 205 Live and got to showcase what he and Cedric can do. Match of the night for me.
Oh, easily. Just a fantastic performance from both wrestlers. Real good playing with the crowd as well, kind of like Cedric Alexander's reactions to the crowd not being behind him.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from him as well, because he put on a screamer of a match.
he did.
Just a fantastic match, really.
Yeah.
I think also though, I think like Buddy Murphy is, I think he's a better, or I think he will be a better champ, just because he seems like he's more character and charisma.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander, great wrestler, but I don't love him outside of the ring.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
He's a bit vanilla, but so yeah, having someone that feels a bit more like Neville quality as a champ will definitely elevate 205.
Buddy Murphy is at the Neville level, is what you're saying.
The Neville level.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's quite at the Neville level, but he's up there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, anything else best of the rest? I mean, I just quickly wanted to say Ronda Rousey, that double armbar.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God. I loved that.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It looked good. It worked. I was a bit worried it might look naff.
It looked amazing, I thought.
Yeah, I'm with Adam. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, I popped
Okay,
hard.
I am so completely in the opposite camp here, where I'm starting to feel like they're just burying their entire women's division here.
Oh, I mean, that's definitely happening, of course. But, I mean, that always happens.
Yeah, especially when they leave Ronda out of the match for the whole match until she comes in and then just decimates everyone.
But that kind of works with the story as well, because it was the Bella twins like not letting in Ronda, and now the Bellas have turned on Ronda on Raw, and they were sort of teasing
they
that.
were never going to stay face for that long, were they? I mean, like, even when they were celebrating, they were doing the old L on the forehead, and it's like, who does that? No one who is a nice person does that.
bloody
No
hate
one
the
since
Bellas.
2005.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean, I know what you're saying. They're burying, but Ronda is such a great talent. She is quite a lot better than a lot of the people she's coming up against. I mean, maybe that's harsh against Ruby Riott and all the people who have actually wrestled for years and years and years to get there. But that looked great, and it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was believable, I think.
I didn't think it looked that good, but okay, fine. Like, kind of, it's good that lots of people do
I
like
think
it.
it's promising because it kind of shows that she's kind of thinking about things, trying to be a bit innovative and do things a bit differently.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I have enjoyed Ronda's run so far. I am concerned that kind of they're going to kind of do similar to what they did with Asuka, where it's like you build one person too much, and all of a sudden you've got a little bit of a problem on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do.
with them, they're probably her main competition on the other show. It would be worrying if like she came up against the likes of Asuka or Charlotte and just buried them.
Yes, that's the thing. The only viable contenders are all on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They don't have much to offer on Raw.
Or in NXT.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be that.
Is Tamina not knocking around somewhere?
Whatever happened to Tamina? Like, I'm
Let's
sure
move
there
on.
must be like missing person posters.
Let's move on. Any other highlights from you guys? Brett, come on, tell me what made you happy. Something.
When it ended.
Sam, give us something.
Okay, so this is going to probably bleed into worst of the rest. John Cena's new finisher.
Oh God.
The Jackie Chan punch, apparently. Whatever it is.
Yeah, what was all this? He's been training with Jackie Chan. I was
He's been
just
speaking
like,
Mandarin for the last 6 months.
yeah, and he's been living in China. What?
I don't know.
Why?
That breakup must have hit him hard.
Oh, it did. That hair is proof.
The
Oh my god, the hair.
It's like they changed the actor who played John Cena.
Yeah, it is.
To
He looks so
JBL.
weird.
Is it a wig or is it his hair, do we think?
I think
He
it's
must
his
be growing
hair.
it for a role or something, surely.
Yeah, I think he's still filming. That's why
Yeah.
he couldn't be too active in this match.
Right.
We had a really funny comment. Oliver Guy on Twitter said, "Who hurt Cena? His new haircut makes him look like an aunt who's had a rough divorce." Hashtag
yeah.
cry for help.
It really
True.
is.
And like the thing is, his promo at the end was such an awkward, like, you know, like if you've got a friend who's had a big breakup and then after you hang out with them, he's just like, "Oh man, I really needed this. This was really nice." And you're just a little bit like, "Oh no,
Awkward.
you've made this so awkward." That's John Cena's promos at the moment. It's just like,
Yeah.
man.
Just a
off.
quick reminder, guys, that we're currently doing Best of the Rest. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. Best of the rest was John Cena's finisher. Worst of the rest is John Cena.
Yeah, everything else. John, have you got anything good to say?
I just want to say that I really enjoyed that Renee Young is still bitter about Talking Smack being cancelled.
I liked
That was
Renee
great.
Young was great throughout, wasn't she? There was the bit in the AJ Samoa match where AJ, where the chair was there and he sat down on it, and Renee went, "Step into his office, Joe." I thought that was slick. Like, she's got it, hasn't she? There's no signs of nerves.
There was actually one point when the Shield were cleaning off the announcers table to put Braun through it, and Dean Ambrose is cleaning it off, and he looks at Renee. Renee looks at him, and then she just grabs her phone off the desk. It was just a really nice little moment.
Yeah.
It must be so weird being a couple and being in that environment together.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had that
Strange.
part where Michael Cole asked. He says, "Oh, you know him better than ever," and you sort of sensed that she might have been a little bit annoyed about that. As if to say,
Yeah.
don't.
How long is it going to be before they lean into that fully? Like they've teased it before with the Miz at one
I like
point,
to think
and
that she is such a pro that she won't allow that to happen. But
I hope so.
I don't
yeah.
think she has that level of control.
no, you're probably right.
No, probably not.
There was actually one point as well during this pay-per-view when Corey Graves was going off on some point and he completely lost it.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
camera just catches them in the background. And Michael Cole is just cracking up laughing that kind of Corey Graves lost the plot
Yeah.
and whatever he was
Yeah,
commentating
didn't
on.
Michael Cole say to him at one point, "Have you ever listened to yourself?" And he was like, "Thankfully, no."
Yeah.
Yeah. Sticking the boot in there. But I don't know if Michael Cole realises that he's the old man there. And
Last little section of Best of the Rest. I just really, really quickly wanted to say that I thought the New Day versus The Bar and Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch were two really solid matches to start off with. They weren't amazing, but I thought they were good.
good
They were
finish
good.
on the New Day versus the Bar.
Yeah, I mean, they're
I
all
like the Speed
pros,
Formations finisher.
total pros.
Um,
But I'm sure Brett thought they were both absolutely terrible.
I woke up in the middle of the Becky Charlotte and being very confused why the belt was suddenly in the ring. I was like, when did that get there?
You fell asleep by Becky Charlotte. That's the second match. It could have only been like half an hour into the show.
Yeah, I should not have been watching wrestling at that time.
Okay, let's move on to Worst of the Rest. And I mean, we've pretty much discussed every single match and we've done a lot of moaning, but I'm sure there's a few other things. Brett, this is pretty much your section as the most miserable guy on the pod at the moment.
No, I'm gonna go with John Cena getting the mic. That match was just bad. I mean, I like Kevin Owens and I think he was doing the best he could, but then like it ended and I was like, oh good, it ended. John Cena did his little sequence. He's happy. They can move on, and then he grabs the microphone. I'm like, no, put it down. Put it down. We don't need to hear you talk.
What has Kevin Owens done to upset WWE? Seriously, like,
Yeah, I know.
he deserves so much better.
Especially if you see Raw as well.
He must have done. Yeah.
Because, Lashley goes over on him.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh.
He must have done something.
But
I reckon
he must have.
Like, they're punishing him for something.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the headbutt on Vince McMahon?
The thing
Vince
is,
McMahon's
right,
finally remembered it.
Kevin Owens, like, he's never, no matter how crap a situation they put him in, he's always entertaining and good value.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's to his downfall. Maybe that's why he's getting all this crap, because he can make anything work to a degree, so they can keep him away from titles.
Utility player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, in 2018, Kevin Owens has an 85% lose rate.
Wow.
We're in October, 85%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guy was like one of the most dominant NXT champions.
He was great for
Unbelievable
a year or two in the main roster as well. Anyway.
Man, unbelievable.
Any other quick words to the rest?
No, just John Cena's hair, really. That was awful.
I think we could probably have a big old chat about Asuka as well. But I think we should save that because we've talked about her quite a lot on other podcasts. But the fact that, I mean, the Iconics were probably always going to win, and their promo was very weird because I kept on expecting them to actually then criticise Australia or something. But they were literally just like, this is great for us. It's really lovely to be here. And I was waiting, but nothing happened. It was a bit
I like
awkward.
that.
Then,
I like the Iconics. Big fan.
I do.
Yeah, I
but
think they're good on the mic.
it's weird when you get, as we said, when you get heels, being...
Heels being faces. But it's Australia. Everything's backwards and upside down.
Yes, you're damn right. So let's move on to Star Performer, our VIP of the night. Tough one. John, who have you gone for?
It's got to be Buddy, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, I think this could be a clean sweep. Sam?
Yeah.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy for you, Brett.
Buddy, yes.
Amazing. Okay, lastly, overall rank. We're going to give a score out of 10 each and then work out the average. The lowest score so far is Wrestle War, 5.75.
Oh,
SummerSlam.
Done, John.
I know. Hey, that's wrong. Extreme Rules got a 4.6.
Ooh.
That is a bad score. Sam, what are you going to score this?
So solid 3.
What?
It was crap.
It wasn't. It really wasn't that bad. Okay, but that's fine. Wow. John? Come on.
I'm going with Sam. I'm 4.
Oh my God. I worry about what Brett's going to do. We can't do negative scores.
We just hear a single gunshot. That's Brett's.
That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm glad. I was going to say 3. I'm glad you didn't come to me first because I was worrying, thinking, they're going to moan, saying I'm really down on it, but then Sam came in with 3, so I was like, phew.
So that's a 3.
Yeah.
A 4, a 3, and a 3. I know. I thought about this beforehand, and I thought I enjoyed this. I did enjoy it, and there were some matches I really enjoyed, and I was thinking, I think this might be a 7.
Whoa.
But
I mean,
But we've brought you down.
Score whatever you think
I
you
know.
need to score.
Yeah,
Like,
if you think
it was
it's
a
a
7, it's a
7.
7.
yeah, no,
You stick by it.
but I must be wrong if you three are scoring it that low. I must be wrong. I must have just been on a high. So I think I'm probably going to reduce that to a 6.
Peer pressure.
I will honestly go for a 6.5 because, like I said, I enjoyed the first 2 matches. I enjoyed AJ Styles Samoa Joe. The Buddy Murphy match was one of my matches, possibly even of the year. Just the really good match. And then that was it. Yeah, 6.5.
Well, that rounds out nicely at 4.125.
The worst pay-per-view
Yeah.
yet.
Do you know what? When that was a 6, Adam, that rounded out really nicely as a straight 4. But nope.
Okay. So that is officially the worst pay-per-view we've rated since ratings began, which was only about 6 pay-per-views ago, but still pretty terrible. Let's stop talking about it then.
Global warming. We've had our hottest summer and our worst pay-per-view.
Is that you're blaming global warming on this?
Why not? Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a break.
Hardest part of the ring, and Sami Zayn able to dodge that catastrophe.
Okay, before we go, we have got a nice... Well, I say nice, you'll be the judge of that. It's a new segment, and here's the jingle.
Question week.
That's right, it's time for Hardest Question of the Week. Each week, we're going to start putting questions to you, the listeners, on our Twitter. We might stick them on Instagram and Facebook from time to time as well, but mostly on the Twitter. And we're going to get your answers and we're going to read them out. This week, we asked something incredibly important, which was who has the best beard in wrestling right now? And a lot of you got in touch. Mama Crow said easy, Matt Cross, which I'm sure John will be
Excellent
behind.
beard.
Alice Tester said definitely Matt Cross. Broken But Glorious said Edge's crazy old man beard. And then we had Glenn Abbott suggests Ciampa. He's got a great beard. Very wide.
What makes a great beard? Just like a mess on the face.
No,
it
well
can
groomed
be a
usually.
well-groomed beard.
Okay, Ciampa's does not fall into well groomed.
No.
Do I make this list anywhere, Adam?
Are you a wrestler?
Well, dabble.
You've been in a ring.
Dabble.
Well, I mean, you did message in yourself and put yourself forward, but I wasn't going to read that one out. PWR Bomb said Triple H or Ciampa. Will Superkick put Elias forward.
I think Triple H is a good one because it's so straight. You could pummel all off it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Heel Nick Payne came up with Ciampa or Trent. Should we decide?
I mean, we're missing Torreyano here with his little goatee.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he has it anymore.
Who's it going to be?
Matt Cross for me.
Yeah, let's go with Matt
I
Cross.
think Trips has got it for me.
Okay, Brett?
Well, I'm going to go with that last suggestion of Trent because Trent's the coolest dude ever.
Sam? Hold back, Sam. Hold back.
I mean, you've already thrown the attitude here under the bus. You're dead to me, Jones.
You're dead to me.
Okay, so that was hardest question of the week. I think we'll keep that if the listeners enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
I liked it.
Yes.
Good.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Good. I'm pleased. Next podcast, we're off next week because, let's face it, I think Brett needs some time away from wrestling and needs to have a chance to get some positivity.
He needs to serve a 1-week suspension for throwing the attitude era under the bus.
I think we're all gonna have a break, and then the week after we're going to be back with a hardest part of the ring rewind episode, which is episodes where we go back and check out something old from the network, an old pay-per-view, and it is Brett's turn to choose, so he gets to pick something to get him in a good mood, some amazing event for us to enjoy. Brett, do you know what you're going to go for?
Well, it's just a classic from my memory, and that's WrestleMania 8.
Ooh.
Oh, a WrestleMania.
We haven't done a WrestleMania yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, other than the one we did like a few months
Well,
ago.
for a rewind. We haven't
For a
done a
rewind.
classic one.
Okay.
Essentially, it's the one that's got Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, which is one of my fave matches.
Sold. Looking forward to that. Okay, so that is the week after next. Until then, Brett, if people want to get in touch.
They can email us to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com, or you can grab us on the socials, which is Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We are at Hardest Part Pod, and we have a shop which you can look at if you want, which is hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Excellent.
Nice.
So yeah, back in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much for listening. I am Adam. Goodbye. Sam, goodbye to you.
See you later, buddy.
Goodbye, John.
Goodbye.
And goodbye to Brett.
Toodle pit.
That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part of that ring.